Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. These are, without a doubt, extraordinary days, and they necessitate extraordinary measures. We have learned that we are in a state of emergency. The leaders of our communities have sounded the alarm, and now this shepherd is going to protect his flock. Effective immediately, the Catholic Diocese of Dallas will suspend all public masses until March 30th, 2020. Our churches will remain open during the day for private prayer and Eucharistic adoration, but all Sunday masses and weekday masses are canceled. I recognize that I had the option of simply dispensing of the obligation to attend Mass and continue to have Masses celebrated, but knowing my flock and knowing their steadfastness in faith, many of them would continue to come to Mass, and it would result in significant numbers, even in light of the guidelines set forth by government officials. In order for all the Catholic faithful to be at peace and to live without any anxiety, as well as to remove any conflicted consciences of whether or not they should attend Mass these days, as the shepherd of the diocese and out of affection for the faithful, I make this decision so that they may remain healthy and strong. This decision of mine comes after an emergency meeting of the Priest Council of the Diocese of Dallas, and they unanimously support this decision. My goal as the bishop is to be sure that the faithful are safe from disease and that this decision gives them a sense of peace so that they may be safe from all distress or anxiety regarding these days of emergency. In the Catholic tradition, we always identify the family as the domestic church. It is in the family that parents hand on the faith to the next generation. I want families to use these days to come together in prayer. We recognize that good can come out of adversity. Hopefully, our families will grow stronger and be intentional in charting a course of action to assure that they grow stronger in faith and in their relationship with Jesus Christ. It is important that we prepare for the worst and hope for the best. There are so many unknown variables about this virus and pandemic, and it's important that we be cautious and prudent. For the love of God and for the love of neighbor, we want to be good Samaritans and be concerned about the health of those around us. This Catholic diocese will also work for the common good. It is our goal to level out the curve, and taking these measures will help flatten that curve so that our healthcare providers will not be overwhelmed. While there are many unknowns about this disease and this pandemic, it is important for me as the shepherd to do what is sure and certain, and taking into account that large gatherings are a factor in the spread of this disease. To eliminate the spread, we need to eliminate the large gatherings. I can also tell you that all of our Catholic schools in the Diocese of Dallas will be closed and moved to e-learning or remote learning until at least March 27th, 2020. Local schools will have specific information for parents regarding remote and e-learning. Our CCD classes or Sunday catechetical classes are also suspended. Priests will continue to celebrate their own private masses in order to pray for the faithful of the diocese. I spoke personally to Judge Clay Jenkins yesterday, and this morning I had a conversation with City Councilwoman Jennifer Staubach Gates. It is important that we partner together in order to make Dallas and the diocese a safer place. Let me also be clear. This is not an act of God. It is an act of nature. God does not desire that people get sick, suffer, or die. And the proof of this is made abundantly clear in our upcoming celebration of Easter. Thank you.
Now, if any of you have questions,
What, if this continues to be extended to Palm Sunday to Easter, what then?
At this time, we will reassess the situation as we get closer to those days.
Bishop, with this being the Lenten season right now and suspending services, do you offer online, any online services to members of the diocese?
We are going to be video streaming our masses at the cathedral, and so people are able to go online to celebrate from home the celebration of the Mass through the computer and through video streaming. We will also be providing through our websites various opportunities for families to grow in the faith during these days at home.
What will those masses look like absent parishioners? Is it just going to be you, essential staff, altar boys, or other priests with you?
Correct. They will not be public masses, so they will be masses that will be very sparse with those in attendance, those mostly serving as ministers to the Mass. The message, of course, will be for the faithful at large.
You mentioned that it's a difficult decision. Can you talk about why it is difficult to suspend masses?
Do you know, we have ingrained in us the great desire to come together to celebrate the Eucharist, the body of Christ. It is a part of our DNA. It's who we are. To make this decision is so very difficult because even if I suspended and dispensed of the obligation to come to Mass, people will still agonize and want to come to Mass. I need to provide them an element of peace. I need to remove the anxiety that they would have. They would definitely have a conflicted conscience that they would want to come to Mass if Mass was being offered. I need to remove that so that indeed they can be at peace, and as the shepherd, I definitely want to protect my flock.
Are your member churches also talking to some of the lay ministers who do different programs throughout the week? Are they also mindful about their presence on different church grounds?
Correct. We have programs dropping off the calendar left and right now because people are being cautious and prudent. We support all of that. We recognize that the local parishes are going to be making those decisions of canceling those events so as to safeguard the community. Again, our role as the Diocese of Dallas is to work together for the common good. And with all the unknown variables about this disease, it's important that we be sure and certain that what we're doing is going to help stop the spread of this virus.
Bishop, during the summer months when people are traveling, parishes also make available online giving to continue to pay for expenses for staff expenses. Those things go on. Is that something also that would be encouraged by individual parishes?
Correct. The parishes will definitely feel an impact of empty churches on Sunday. We have engaged in online giving so that they can fulfill their responsibility in tithing and supporting the church. So that will definitely be intact.